So in lesson 66 part 5 we've entitled the series A Body of Work. In other words, how does the body work within the golf swing? More importantly, how does the body work when it comes to hitting a shot? Now, if I show you a tennis racket here, I think you recognise right in player that this would be top spin and this would be a backspin motion. So if we put the golf club, the leading edge, in parallel with the tennis racket, the backspin motion would be a slicing golf, a ball curving from left to right in my case, and a topspin variation would be draw spin. So obviously, if I go up to the golf ball with the face closed or open, I'm making a problem for myself. We all know about getting the face orientated or aimed at the target, but not all of us understand that the position of the shaft itself at address controls that. So it's not enough just to aim the face of the club. It's also important to make sure that we aim the shaft. Okay, so alignment starts off with something that's visual. You look at something, you make an assessment of how far away it is and what line you need to take. That's done through the eyes. But having looked at your target visually, you then have to align with a mixture of visual alignment and physical alignment. And what I want to make clear in this particular piece is that we have to aim the shaft. It is more important to aim the shaft correctly than the face itself. Now, you think that sounds strange, but let me tell you why. If you get the shaft alignment wrong at address, you're going to have to adjust that shaft alignment during the swing, and that will mean the face needs adjusting. But if the shaft is good at address, all you ever have to do is adjust the face, and that happens anyway. But you've got one less thing to worry about. So let's just give you an example of that. I've taped an alignment rod to my driver. So here I am on the practice ground. The ball target line, as you can see, is the white line from the ball through the screen. And if I just show you here that the shaft is a dead right angle to the target line. But if I come from over here, you can see that the shaft has got my swing aiming to the right. My hands are ahead of the ball. Also, if I were shaft behind the ball, can you see where the swing is facing? So the orientation of the face is going to control a lot of the way the ball spins, with draw or fade, low or high. But the angle of the shaft, the aiming of the shaft, has a great effect on how you swing the club. So I think you can see that if this is a good setup, and I go around here, the shaft's behind the ball. My swing is now aiming left. My backswing wants to go outside the line. Conversely, if I went around the circle to my right, the shaft is now aiming there. So you can see, aiming the shaft is critical. And if that's a square shaft, I've only got to be an inch out to be pointing at the right edge of the fairway. 2 inches out, I'm pointing at the rough. If I show you the fade spin version, or the out to in version, an inch is aiming left edge of the fairway, 2 inches is in the semi. So it's like aiming a rifle. It's only a couple of inches out either side of centre, sends the bullet a long way. Alright, so there we have it. The way the body works is it lines up with the club. Your eyes have to align the club face and the shaft, then your grip, shoulders, hips and feet sequence will automatically align your body in the correct and neutral position at address. It's no good pulling the trigger of a gun if you haven't aimed it properly first. So let's take that analogy of aiming a rifle to the practice ground. I have my driver. I let the club rest on its bottom. I don't have to aim the face. If the club sits at the bottom, I use the shaft to aim the face. So I'm looking down, and the blue shaft of my driver is a dead right angle to the ball target line, or to the two white alignment rods there. I now lean forward. Now, I'm going to aim the shaft just 2 inches to my left. I'm going to move my feet around the circle. Hang on, 2 inches. The face is now pointing, basically, I want to start the ball on top of the wooded hill. So a very small amount of movement in the butt of the club. So here's the shaft at right angle. That's going to hit a shot down the line. If I go around the circle just an inch or so, I'm now aiming the shaft at 1 o'clock. So here we go. Okay. I didn't catch that very well, but I think you can see from the vapor trail, I'll show you in a moment, can see that indeed the ball started on the wooded hill, and that gives me a license to hit draw spin. I didn't do it on that occasion, that's why the ball only went a couple hundred yards. Okay, let's do that one more time. I'm going for draw spin. Always start off with the shaft a dead right angle, that's the middle of the fairway. I now go an inch or two to my left, the shaft is now aligned forward, the face is slightly open. The ball will start at 1 o'clock, and now I can draw the ball. And you can see that time, again the ball started down the right, and the ball went further, could have got a draw spin. So, the club face orientation created a bit of a fade spin on the first swing path, followed by a bit of draw spin on the second swing path. But I think you can see, this is the outward journey. I was going at 1 o'clock. So, what do I do if I want to hit a fade? Well, obviously, I'm going to walk around the circle in the reverse direction. But in walking around the circle, remember what I'm doing. I'm aiming the shaft. Okay. So let's start off neutral. There's the shaft, a dead right angle to target line. Okay, I now walk around the circle, inch or two to my right. The butt of the club is now behind the ball. The face is now pointing at the top of the wooden hill left of the stake. So here we go. Coil. And you can see I overcooked it a bit for you to make sure I did it. But if we go back, let's have a look at where the ball started. So a minute ago, I was starting the ball at this wooded hill, and then I walked around the circle to my right, and I got the shaft aiming not as far quite as I wanted to. I really want that red line to start on that wooded hill. So let's give that one more go. And again, in hitting a fade, I'm opting for a slightly lower tee peg than I went for draw. So you tee it down for fade, you tee it up for draw. Okay, so here's the bog standard setup. Shaft at right angle, round the circle. Okay, now I'm aligned at the wooden hill. I just got a coil and hit a fade. Okay, not one to give up. Third time lucky, don't hold your breath. Let's see if I can start the ball on the line that I'm talking about. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that was better. And as a result of that, the ball's come back to the middle of the fairway. So, the face controls the way the ball spins, but the shaft controls the direction and inclination of the swing. If the shaft is ahead of the ball, we're aiming right at target. If the shaft is behind the ball, we're aiming left at target. So, as I said earlier, it's important to aim the face. It's even more important to aim the shaft.